Bongo?
Apo, mahal na tagapangulo, wala na po akong masasabi. Usapan na po yan ng isang dating PNP chief at ngayon ay kasalukuyan. Mahirap na pong pumasok dyan. Siguro po ang ating kaibigan.
Thank you, Senator Romero Padilla. Gusto mo bang marinig? Pakinggan mo muna yung opening statement, Senator Bongo, before I will let you leave. At saka, go ahead, Senator Bongo.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. Let me remind the PNP that in its operational procedures, only necessary and reasonable force should be used to accomplish the task of enforcing the law and maintaining peace and order. The operational manual of the PNP also states that the use of weapons are only in lethal approach and as a last resort if the suspect is armed and dangerous, or if there is unlawful aggression or intention to cause severe injury, serious bodily harm, or death to police officers and other people. At so mga nakarang araw po, may reports po nakarating na meron po mga naka-deploy na SWAT team, PNP SWAT team in full combat gear. Naka-full combat gear sila sa palibot ng central compound ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ sa Davao City. Nagdudulot po ito ng panic. Siyempre, lalo-lalo na po doon sa mga bata, sa mga estudyante, nagkaka-trauma po sila. As Vice Chairman po ng Committee on Public Order, hindi ba ang motto ng PNP is to protect and to serve? Serve who? Yun po ang mga katanungan natin. Kawawa naman.
Not to scare.
Not to scare po. Alam nyo naman, sir, alam nyo, lahat po yan. Panahon ni dating Pangulong Duterte, full support kami sa police, lalo na po in line of duty. Ikipagpatayan po kami sa inyo. Isa po sa ating isinulong nun, doblehin, taasan ang sweldo ng ating police, uniform personnel. We work with various executive agencies and the entire Congress na maisakatuparan ng pangakong binitawan. At dahil ako mismo, ako na utusan ni dating Pangulong Duterte noon na ipaglaban po ang uniform personnel natin. At hanggang ngayon, full support naman po kami sa inyo. Mahal na mahal po namin ang Philippine National Police, ang Armed Forces, ang uniform personnel. Ang atin lang po dito, sana po'y maging non-partisan kayo. Gawin nyo lang po ang inyong trabaho. Protektahan ang karapatan ng Pilipino. And every operation should be conducted within the bounds of law. Kawawa naman po yung mga pulis na no choice kundi sumunod lang po sa utos sa taas. Alam ko mas maraming pulis ang professional at magagaling. Alam niyo po yun. Dito lang kami to support the police, pero sana po maging maayos, maging patas at hindi maapektuhan lalong-lalo na yung mga bata. Yung mga bata na natotrauma po ko. Wala naman sigurong hindi naman po siguro terorista ang hinahanap ninyo. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Pinapalalahanan ko lang. Gawin nyo lang po yung tama. Salamat po.
Thank you, Your Honor, Senator Bongo. Alam ko how you love the PNP. Isa ka sa nagsumikap talaga na magiging doble ang sweldo ng PNP noong panahon ni Pangulong Duterte. Kaya maraming salamat. Yung tanong mo kayang issue about yung mga naka-SWAT uniform na nakatayo na parang na-terrorize yung mga tao doon sa malapit sa Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Andito si RD, Pero 11, General Torre. Can you enlighten us what happened? Bakit nagkaganon? Maraming SWAT doon na naka-itim at pilit kinakausap ng mga tao, ayaw sumagot. Nakatakot ang mukha, ayaw daw, wala daw nameplate. Hindi daw nagpakilala kung sino sila. So, the more na intimidated ang tao sa presensya ng pulis na gano'n, ayaw man na sila kausapin. Dapat friendly sila sa mga kababayan natin pag tinatanong.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead. You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. I take responsibility for the deployment of those personnel, sir. Actually, sir, hindi yan eksaktong kaharap, sir. Ang mga SWAT na yan, sir, tsaka sa gabi lang, sir, na ginagawa yan. Because, kung titinangan natin, sir, there is a wanted person in the premises of the compound. Nakita natin noong June 10, in-attempt nating i-serve ang warrant at hindi nga, sir, napasok talaga, sir, dahil talagang napakalaki ng resistance. And we are very we're just very conscientious na bawasan lang ang possibility na makatakas, sir. So, with the force that we saw last June 10, hindi sir malayo na talagang puwersa rin ang pwedeng gamitin dahil may resources nga naman talaga. In the past few weeks, sir, in these past few days, last week, napakaraming lumabas na mga trucks, na container vans, buses, na hindi na natin nati-check, sir, dahil sa kakulangan nating puwersa. So,
Alam mo, Nick, General Torre, we are not questioning your mandate.
Yes, sir.
Mandato nyo yan.
Yes, sir.
Kahit na masama sa kalooban ng mga kababayan natin na huliin si Pastor Kibuloy, but meron siyang existing warrant of arrest.
Yes, sir.
And that is your job as
Yes.
law enforcement officer. Gawin talaga nyo yan.
Yeah.
Diba? Ang akin lang, yung matakot yung mga taga Davao na, ano ito? Minarselo na ang Davao. Alam mo na yung tawag dyan. Yung sabi ni Senator Benor Padilla, nagbablagir-blagiran na kahit anong sinasabi na nilusob na ang Davao ng mga SWAT na nakaitim na walang pangalan, nakatakip ang mukha, ayaw magpakilala, tinatanong ng media kung sino sila, anong ginagawa, ayaw kausapin yung mga tao. Parang na-terrorize ang tao. Alam mo, nung nakita ko, Nick, nakita ko yung uniform nila, tiningnan ko talaga sa media yung sa cellphone yung kanilang patches, yung unit. Nung nakita ko na RMF B11, gusto ko sabihin sa mga tao na no cause for panic, mga tao natin yan. Mga local police natin yan. Kasi sinasabi nila, RMF ba talaga yun? Or
Yes,
mga
sir.
galing sa ibang lugar ng police?
RMFB, sir, galing sa...
RMF B11.
RSQ, sir.
Kaya nga sabi ko, sana mga kababayan ko sa Davao, huwag kayong magpanik dahil mga tao natin, mga pulis natin yan. Baka mamaya team leader dyan, yung anak ko pa, na si Lieutenant Rack de la Rosa na official lang RMFB. Kaya huwag kayong matakot, pero it is incumbent on your part na dapat bigyan ninyo ng advice yung mga pulis natin na kahit na nagpe-perform sila na kailang mandato, maintain to be friendly sa mga tao natin. Tinatanong sila ng media, ayaw magsagot. Sir, kung lang ito, yung police visibility nila ito. Wala pa kaming karapatan duty namin ito na mag-provide ng police visibility. Trabaho naman ito. Pwede naman lang sabihin gano'n para huwag matakot ang mga tao, pero hindi nagsasalita. Walang mga nameplate, ang mga mukha naka-cover. Kaya ang tao na-intimidate. So dapat you should be there to normalize the situation. Huwag natin takutin yung tao.
Yes.
Pacify ka.
Can I qualify some of the things,
Yeah,
sir?
go ahead.
Sir, when we say media, sir, sana sir kung mainstream, pero sa ngayon kasi sir, focus rin talaga sir naman. Sa Manila naman talaga sir ang gumagawa ng focus dun sir sa ganong situation. So we don't want to fight with the media in general, sir, Pero kitang-kita naman natin, sir, na ang may focus lang, sir, at may interest lang talaga na hinahanapan ng detail order, hinahanapan ng mission order, hinahanapan pa nga ng lisensya, sir, ang mga baril namin, sir, So, SMNI lang naman, sir, na personnel at yung mga taga-KOJC. And I think, sir, it is already out of bounds sa part nila because it is already, sir, in the public road. At hindi lang naman sila, sir, ang tina-checkpoint doon. Kitang-kita naman, sir, lahat, sir, may checkpoint tayong lahat ng checkpoint natin, sir, walang pinipili. Yan lang naman, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Sino yun?
sorry po if may I say something po?
Okay, good.
Pasensya na po, Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
yes,
kahit
go ahead.
hindi pa po na-recognize.
Yeah.
Kasi
But, meron kayong opening statement
yes po.
di ba?
Okay.
Sino magre-read? Okay, paalis na para baka
para makarinig pa po si General Marbil po sa
Yes, go ahead.
Sana
statement po
makinig
namin.
muna si General
Yes.
Marbil, sir.
Ha?
Sana makinig
Oo.
muna.
Sir, wag mo nang
Ganito.
umalis, sir.
Ganito,
Wag mo na siya umalis.
ganito.
Kung pwede lang.
Nagpaalam siya sa akin dahil may mga tao siya may disgrasya, mayroong misencounter doon sa kwan, kailangan niya puntahan. Kaya, whatever matatakil natin dito, i-follow up mo sa kwan, para masagot mo. Then, ikaw acting DO, you supply the answers. Ito lahat, yung isasabihin nila. Pero itong particular na issue na ito, huwag ka muna malis. Go ahead, Sino to magsalita?
Sir, okay na po ba?
Ma'am Eleanor Cardona, you have the floor. Ma'am.
Yes, kung
Yes.
okay na po, ano ko yung opening
Ganito ha. The committee rules. You cannot ask your question directly to General Marbil. You course it through me, and
Yes,
ako
sir.
magtatanong sa kanya. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank
Go
you
ahead.
so much. Mr. Chair, I will be first reading the statement of our KOJC administrator, who is also invited but he cannot come, the property
Sino?
administrator of KOJC, who is former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you po. This is a statement of former President Rodrigo Duterte dated June 13, 2024, and I read, "To members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ and to all citizens who uphold the rule of law, June 10, 2024 will go down as a day of infamy. Heavily armed battalions of the Philippine National Police, Special Action Force, and the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group raided various church compounds in Barangay Buhangin and Tamayong, Davao City, Glory Mountain and Cusans Baptismal Resort, Samal Island, and the Kitbog Compound, Malungon, Sarangani Province, ostensibly in a coordinated effort to serve warrants of arrest on Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Except for the over-publicized arrest warrants, the raiders did not present any search warrant in all of the church properties raided by the law enforcement agencies. This is a clear violation of the law. It has an overkill in any language. This act cannot go unpunished. While I am saddened to do this, given my personal and in the past official support for the police and the armed forces of the Philippines, my duties as administrator of church properties demand that I take legal and appropriate action. In line with this, I have ordered not only the preparation of affidavits of all members aggrieved and traumatized by the said unfortunate incident, but also an inventory of church properties destroyed as a consequence. It is incumbent not only upon the church but also upon officers of the law to take appropriate action, considering that the said trespass was beamed by social media all over the world and thus sent the wrong signal that this country has become a police state with no respect for the law and religious institutions. While the damage has been done, the opportunity is there to rectify the errors brought about by the trampling of basic rights in the conduct of the alleged raid by granting the reliefs and legal remedies provided by law. It is unfortunate that the obsession of this administration to demonize Pastor Quiboloy even before he could be convicted by a court of law is a clear maneuver to divert attention from the deepening crisis spawned by corruption, incompetence, and abuse of authority. Again, it is with heavy heart that I am constrained to take action against all those responsible for the coordinated but illegal raid. Notwithstanding my personal convictions, the law must be upheld. Let this be a warning and a lesson for all those who follow and implement illegal and unlawful orders, that there are grave consequences for blind obedience. Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Thank you, sir. At this time, sir, pwede
Thank you,
po,
ma'am. Yes.
I have the permission
Continue.
once again
Yeah.
to, of course, the Honorable Chairperson of the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, Honorable Senator Bato de la Rosa, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, maraming salamat po at pinagkaloob po itong pagkakataon. And also Senator Christopher Bongo, at sa lahat po na nandito ngayon in this room, sa lahat ng NBI, DOJ, Napolcom, SWD, and of course the BNP, sa CHR, and all those that are here. Indeed, we're so thankful that we were given the chance to air our sentiments. On behalf of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, let me just say this. As I have read the statement of former President Rodrigo Duterte, June 10 truly is a day of infamy for us. because it is a day that will go down in the history of this country. That day, not only one, not two, not even three, but 4 of our religious compounds, our sacred grounds, our worship places, simultaneously were brutally attacked, assaulted, not by terrorists, but sadly, by the state-ordered or sanctioned law enforcers coming from the Philippine National Police, the CIDG, and the Special Action Force of the PNP is supposed to be the elite forces that is against terrorism. They were all in full battle gear that day. And it was dawn. Maybe later on we will be showing the footages of what really transpired. At sino ba yung inatake nila? They attacked the religious compounds of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. And who were there? We were innocent civilians. Yes, there were children. There were mothers. There were grandparents, male and female, because it is our home. Tinitirhan namin yun. It is our compound. We have lived there for almost 40 years. Kaya doon kami nakatira. And as you all know, I think some of you have been in our compounds. And if you know us, for 40 years that Pastor has been preaching, we were innocent civilians, disciplined, law-abiding, God-fearing. We are volunteers, missionaries. We have given our lives to serve God and the country. And we have never wronged anyone. We have been upholding the law because that is what our beloved pastor has taught us. And on that day, we never expected that a horrifying incident such as that would ever happen. Why? Because they already served warrant of arrest several times. If I may read, they have already served it on April 3 in the central headquarters and in Samal, and April 4 in Prayer Mountain and the Glory Mountain, and April 10 in the central headquarters and Prayer Mountain, the Glory Mountain, and May 3 in Prayer Mountain and Glory Mountain, and we have always entertained and let them in peacefully. We didn't have any resistance, but kami magre-resist. Yun nga lang ang tanong dito sa committee hearing na ito, sa pagdidinig. Tinatanong natin yung excessive ba yung June 10. Kasi, ang pinuntahan naman nila, religious compounds, hindi naman lair ng mga kriminal. At ang sinong hinahanap nila, para lang din sa lahat, sino bang tinutugis? It was in the guise of issuing a warrant of arrest to our beloved pastor, which we have known at naging buhay na namin for almost 40 years. Kaya yun ang masakit. Kasi alam namin yung katotohanan. Tapos, first of all, we know what the truth is. He is innocent. And Pastor Kibuloy has millions of followers, not only here in the Philippines, but the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, which is a homegrown ministry from Davao City, has reached not only the Philippines, but the whole world. And what is painful with that, is it because he was just falsely accused yet? Is it because he is also the spiritual advisor and the friend of so many, especially the former President, Rodrigo Roa Duterte? PACQ or Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy is not yet convicted in any court here in the Philippines. Allegations yun lahat. And he has always said it. He is not evading the law. Palagi niyang sinasabi yan. He's not escaping from the law. He was just asking a preservation of his life. Haharapin niya ang alleged na mga accusation sa kanya na human trafficking, rape, at ano pa man na lahat na inaakusan ninyo, which is alam namin na hindi totoo, pero sige na lang. Pero haharapin ni Pastor yan, basta nasa tamang korte. At guaranteed siya na safe ang buhay niya. Hindi siya nag-i-evade ng law, ulitin ko lang po. He's not evading the law because he has always taught us to abide by the law. And so, kailangan lang niya ng self-preservation, kailangan niya i-save yung buhay niya. Huwag lang makialam ang Amerika. Kasi, yung information nga nakakarating sa amin, hindi sila mag-extradition, but extraordinary rendition. Sinabi niya ni Pastor, huwag lang makialam ang Amerika. I-secure nyo lang yung seguridad ni Pastor. Haharapin niya lahat ng accusations niya sa korte. So, ganito ang nangyari. Ilang beses sila nag-search, nagbigay ng warrant of arrest para sa innocenteng tao at hindi pa convicted. Hindi siya fugitive kasi hindi siya nag-escape sa law. Sorry. Huwag yung tatawagang fugitive yung hindi nag-escape sa law. At pastor siya. Pastor namin siya. Buhay namin, binigay na namin kay pastor. Kasi alam namin yung sinusundod namin. And that June 10, I was there. We were there. And never have we felt so brutalized and terrorized on that day. Hindi kami sanay. Kasi we have lived peacefully. Lahat ng turo ni pastor, pagmamahal. Pagsusunod sa batas. Tapos, to our horror, we were about to pray. I was looking at my watch, it's 3:50. The silence of that morning was broken by the siren because that is our only way to inform everyone that we were already under attack. You say we are armed and dangerous. You have your body cams with you. The camera will not lie. The CCTV will not lie. We were there because we were about to pray for our devotional dawning prayer. And that is when, all of a sudden, I just heard all those, the female workers running around. We have to protect our compound. We have to protect our property. It is our home. That is our inheritance given to us by the Almighty Father. And we worked on that by the blood, sweat, and tears of all the kingdom citizens. Yun lang ang pamamahay namin. Yun lang ang lugar namin, kaya pinoproteksyon namin. Binigay yun sa amin ng ating Panginoon Diyos. Pinangunahan ng aming mahal na pastor. Why we are protecting that? Because yun ang iniwan ni pastor sa amin. And we vowed to protect it no matter what. So yun yung nangyari. So tanong natin, excessive ba? Yung lulusob ka sa banal na dako na kung walang ginagawa kundi manalangin, magpuri sa Ama, magsisimba, at wala ibang tinuturo kundi pagmamahal sa kapwa, pagsusunod sa batas, at pagmamahal sa Diyos. Excessive ba yung, for the first time in my life, I saw all those PNP personnel who were ready geared for war with all their ammunitions, yung mga baril nila napakalaki. I did not know what to do, but the children, the women, the mga workers kasama namin sa gate. Later on, Carlo will also relate what happened that day. It only not resulted in a pain so deep that even until now, the pain is there. Hindi man namin sadyain. Alam ko trauma is matagal mag-heal. It's not only pain, trauma, but it also resulted and caused the death of 2 of our members from the Belaan tribes in Kitbog. You also
May namatay?
Opo, dalawa.
Bakit? Ano nangyari?
Because of the trade, na trauma sila, sir, kasi mga Bilaan, for the longest time, napaka-peaceful na po nung sa Sarangani province. E nung madaling araw, sinugod yung bahay nila, mga bahay nila, at pinilit silang palabasin. Yung una, pinagsisipa yung mga door. Madaling araw, sir, halos mga pawid lang yung bahay nila. Tapos, yung matanda, may sakit na siya. Kaya medyo nasa labas na lang siya ng bahay. Pinilit talaga siyang palabasin. Labas kayo. Matanda na, sir, kasi may sakit nga. Pinalabas. bedridden siya. Pinalabas talaga, pinilit nila lahat, pati yung matatanda, pinilit nilang palabasin sa bahay. Sir, hindi po yun sa compound, nasa community po yun, mga bilaan yun. Ancestral domain yun, malapit yung tinutulungan ni Pastor yun.
Right there and then, during that activity,
The
namatay?
next day.
The next day.
Ipalabas kasi siya ng madaling araw.
Yung dalawa?
Isa muna, ganito
Isa.
sir. Yung tatay, ng bedridden na may sakit, pinalabas, pinilit palabasin, nagpamakaawa. Ginising nila ng mga baril na lalaki talaga ng mga arms nila. Pinilit nila lumabas. Yung iba, sabi nila, ang ginaw, madaling araw na sa bundok. Pinilit nila. Yung the day after that, hindi na siya kumain. Ayaw na niya. Tapos palagi niya, ang iniisip niya, baka kunin nila si Pastor. Kasi member na po sila. Naunawaan po nila yung mensahe ni Pastor. Yun yung takla, baka makuha nila si Pastor. Walang warrant of arrest. Picture lang ang pinakita. 8. Picture, kilala niyo ba to? Ganun po nangyari doon sa Kitbog. Tapos, yung asawa niya, the following din, matay yung father. That day din, yung asawa ni William, tinitimpla pa niya ng kape yung mga sundalo. Nanginginig na siya. Nanginginig siya. After a few days, na-stroke. Hindi na si Brother William nakapaglibing sa father niya kasi na-stroke yung asawa niya. Tinulungan namin din nila sa hospital. Dilin naglaon. Sir, namatay din. So, 2 yung namatay dun sa pamilya na yun. Tinulungan namin hanggang ngayon. Just yung may bata doon. Kasi, naano siya, siguro hindi lang talaga kaya i-process ng utak niya. Parang natuliro. Naloko pag may makikita siyang drone, binabato niya. Pag may makikita silang naka-uniform, natatakot sila. Kahit even, wala, sir, nasira yung bait. Hindi talaga, hanggang ngayon, pinapagamot namin. Hanggang ngayon, namin. Tapos yung, sa Glory Mountain naman, may mga footages naman, sir. Yung sinabi nila na nakipaglaban dahil may bolos. Natural, kasi bundok yun. Glory Mountain yun. After ng prayer, nagpa-farm sila. Nag-garden sila. So, dala-dala nila yung pang-farm. Bigla na, ang sinabi nila, ibababa kasi papamedico legal, yung 6 with minors pa. Pero pagdating doon sa Kalinan Police Station, nagtaka na lang yung guardian, pinasuot na sila ng orange. Ginunan sila ng mugshot. Sir, mga innocent yun kasi mga ano din yun, nasa tribo din yun. Tinutulungan lang ni Pastor doon sa bundok. Ganun po. Hindi man lang binasahan ng Miranda rights or what. Ganun lang.
Ilan yun? Ilan?
6 po.
6?
Opo. Marami pa. 6 lang lahat.
Kinasuhan?
Opo. Pinasuot ng orange.
Nasaan sila ngayon?
Nandun pa rin po sa Glory Mountain, pero nandito po yung witness. Kasama po namin.
Nakapag nag-post sila ng bail? Paano sila ni-release?
Ordinary filing lang po yun. Tapos nirelease din lang po sila, sir, nung hapon.
Okay. Anong kaso nila, attorney? Anong kinaso?
Obstruction of justice daw.
Obstruction of justice ang final nila. Ng
Kasi?
PNP. Kasi
Talaga nag-obstruct sila na hindi makapasok ang pulis? Ganun ginawa nila?
allegedly po, yun ang allegation ng Philippine National Police. Actually, 8 po yung dinala. And then, nung na-realize nila na minors pala yung 2, pinakawalan. And then later, pagdating dun sa police station, pinaila na sila ng kaso po. Sila pala lahat, yung 8 pinaila ng kaso ultimately.
At least regular filing, hindi in-inquest.
In fairness, regular filing.
Regular filing. Thank you. Please continue, ma'am.
Okay, so more or less that's what happened last June 10. And hindi lang kasi kung excessive yung pinag-uusapan, hindi lang naman kasi galing sa Region 10 yung lumusob. 10, 11, 12, 13. So, I think yun nga, sinabi na pinagplanuhan, pinag-isipan. At yung nangyari doon ng June 10. Kaya, hinihiling lang po namin sa mga honorable natin na mga malaki po yung respeto namin sa mga police. In men in uniform. Pastor has so much high regard for the men in uniform. And we have supported the military and the police ever since. Hinihiling lang namin ang patas na pagdinig at ang maliwanag na yun ng katotohanan at katuwiran po ang mananaig. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Torion, you have the floor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen of this August Committee, to the Honorable Chair, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, Senator Robin Hood